Hello friends, welcome back and thanks for watching. Today I am sharing my kids gift guide video. I will be honest with you, I think we're gonna hit an age range of like 8 and under. It's kind of hard for me to gauge because my kids are 2 and 3, so my experience is only with boys up to 3 years old. But I am sharing a unisex gift guide with the exception of one gift. And I will say, don't come at me if you don't find anything in this list. I feel like sometimes people are like, I didn't find anything. And it's like, maybe this could just kind of like fuel the creative spark. But everything that I am talking about is going to be numbered up on screen and linked in the description bar and comment section. So it'll be very easy to shop. And we will go ahead and get started with number one. These umbrella lights, like, I knew that my kids were gonna like these. I did not know how much they were going to like them. I had these just sitting out on the counter. Sam had like kind of put them together. We were kind of just playing with them the night before. The clip that I'm just gonna show you guys was filmed. And we were just like, okay, cool, these seem like really neat gift ideas. Like, I wanna see if the boys like these. And when I tell you they came out and immediately were drawn to them, and have been their favorite toy for like 2-3 days straight now. I am not kidding. They do have a remote control, so you can kind of control the light colors on and off. You can change modes yourself. They also are like touch sensor lights, so they can kind of change them with touching them. You can hang it on the wall or leave it on the ground. I do personally think it would be a little bit better just hanging on the wall full time because it does have some pieces that tended to pop off just when it was like continuously moving on the counter. But this is one of the coolest little light, like sensory light toys that my boys have ever played with, and they both were really, really drawn to it. So you can get multi-packs of these. You can connect all of them together. You can just get one pack and then add on to it later. It's just such a nice variety, but I've really, really been loving seeing their little minds like play with them and change all of the colors into certain patterns. Number two, this handheld tic-tac-toe. Now this is a little bit older, but I did actually see this is a great something that you can like take to a restaurant with you instead of like an iPad. And so for my boys, I actually got them this, and this is how we have taught them to play tic-tac-toe. It's still a little bit of a learning curve. Like Roman just turned 2 at the very, very end of July. So he's not like 100% there yet, but Ezra at least can like understand that there's a pattern there. He hasn't been able to like fully figure out what my next move might be in order to prevent it, but it's just cool to kind of watch their minds work and learn and grow while just simply playing something like tic-tac-toe. You also can play the machine or you can play someone else on this, so that's really nice. But these have just been like a little random convenient toy that they've really liked. And they are easy to throw into your purse if you do want to take them out to eat. The next gift are these like 3-in-1 trucks for boys. Now, these are just for boys. I did tell you guys most of these things were unisex, but I will say these are definitely, I mean, girls like playing with trucks too, so maybe not, but at least just in my experience, like my niece doesn't love trucks as much as she likes Barbies, but this is a really, really cool set of toys because they have different styles and colors, but it comes with a little screwdriver and screws, and it actually is very easy for the kids to kind of mix and match the pieces together themselves. So it's kind of fine-tuning their motor skills while also just letting them think that they're like building their own toys. They can like take off the bucket and put on, you know, like the scooper thing. I'm not well versed in all the construction trucks, but I got the boys both the same set and they absolutely love it. They are also remote controlled, so that's really fun. But just in terms of like them feeling like, Roman literally will sit, there's a table right there. He will sit for hours and just build and like screw and unscrew things, and he absolutely loves it. And I feel like from when we got him the toy even to now, it's just been a couple of weeks, and I have noticed a vast difference in his fine motor skills with like screwing and unscrewing the toy. So a really, really cool one that I hands down recommend. The next gift is, of course, their favorite like soccer balls, footballs, basketballs, any kind of balls like that. We really like to take the boys out as much as possible, and also just kind of get them exploring what they like. Like obviously they're 2 and 3. We are not rushing to put our children into sports at any time, like any age soon, because I do know that sometimes doing that too young can be bad, but we do still want to get a feel of what they really like. And we have kind of realized that one, they both like running, which doesn't surprise me because Sam's a runner. I do enjoy running, but not near as much as Sam. But 2, Roman is definitely like, he prefers soccer over anything else versus Ezra, who actually likes baseball a little bit more. So it's kind of cool to be able to see their minds play and pick things that they prefer based on just what they're doing. So I know it may seem just like, oh, I'm getting them a ball, but you actually are still giving them the creativity to see like, hey, do I like this? And maybe that will turn into something in the future. So do not discredit those. Our boys love them. An art easel is always a great gift. Now they have really girly ones, they have very basic ones, they have very boyish ones. I think just get what works for your child. I will link a couple below. For instance, paint is not something I am down to really give to my boys in that form. When we paint, we like sit at a table and I have to be like eyes on. But if I was to do an art easel, I would be like down to do markers or crayons or something. Versus one of my friends, her daughter like has no problem with paint on an easel, like it would not bother her at all. Her daughter doesn't, you know, go crazy like my little Roman does. So definitely something that's gonna fuel their little creative minds. I love creative gifts, but just a heads up. Those kids go rogue, okay? So I love a good art easel, but they have so many different styles and colors out there. I mean, it's insane. The next gift idea is bikes, and we have actually gotten the boys bikes the past couple years. We did like balance bikes, and that was one thing that their pediatrician was very heavy. Like, I really want them to learn to ride bikes. Not just because it's good to know how to ride a bike, but she was just like, it's just really good for their development to know how to ride a bike, but also that their brain can put it together. She was like, that's very important. And Ezra has very much so, I would say in the last 6 months, really started to show an increase in wanting to learn to ride his bike by himself. He loved the balance bike. That was great at kind of teaching him the importance of balance. So again, I will link a few different models below. Bikes really do depend on like weight and size, but starting with a balance bike when they're little just teaches them the importance of balance. So our plan is probably to not do training wheels because he has done a pretty good job at mastering the balance portion. Now, you know, we probably will still buy a bike with balance wheels on it, but we may not add them. We don't know. We'll just have to see. So bikes are always great. And I feel like that's something that you can get them literally every year because those little things grow so fast. Like my children grow like little weeds. The next one are like rollerblades, scooters, skateboards, anything with wheels. I remember growing up, my brother, it genuinely was like every single Christmas there was something else with wheels that he wanted. Whether it was rollerblades, a scooter, you know, they have those like really cool little switch skateboard looking things. Like he always just wanted something that had wheels on it. And so you could never go wrong with getting Daniel something that had wheels on it. And so now I feel like, of course I see that in my boys with bikes, but there are a million different scooters. Like I did not know, gone are the days when it's just a scooter with 2 wheels. So many different styles. Again, I've said it, I will link as many as I can find below, but depending on the age of your child, I mean, there's just so many good options out there. Now, to be honest with you, Legos are always a good gift. Like I have a friend who his wife gifted him the Eiffel Tower because was born and raised in France. And she gifted him, I think it was his wife, the Eiffel Tower in Legos. And he's a grown man. And we have gifted our boys the Duplo Legos before. So there's a wide age range there. There are like roses that are really cool. Sam even says there's like some women at his office that have like the Lego roses at their desk because they don't want to actually like water a plant every day, but they wanted something fun. So I think Legos are really, really cool. The Duplo Legos are meant for younger kids. They, I believe they told me so they can be thrown in the dishwasher. They actually work with regular Legos, but they cannot be swallowed. Like they have gone through a lot of extensive testing to make sure that they are very safe for children versus when you go up to actual Legos, like that are very, very tiny and piecey. Those are for those older kids, but they can still kind of mesh together. So Duplo is what we still get our kids since they are 2 and 3, but we've just never, ever been disappointed in the quality of them. Like Legos is just a very, very high quality brand and no one will do it like they do. So always a win again from like 2 to 30. Last year we got the boys walkie-talkies and they loved them so much. It was really cool. And they caught on pretty quick. Like Roman was like 1.5-ish last Christmas. And I was very impressed with how quickly they got on that. Like, okay, if I'm pushing the button, that's when I can talk. If I'm pushing the button, I can't hear. And they would like go to separate parts of the house and they would like use their walkie-talkies. Now even sometimes they'll pretend like they're on the phone with us and they'll be like, someone's calling you, mommy, someone's calling you. And they just love their little walkie-talkies. So again, it's something that just like fuels that creative spark. It's a way to teach them how to use walkie-talkies, which I don't really know if people use those as much anymore, but a cool thing nonetheless. So a great kid gift that my boys just personally loved. We also have Magna-Tiles, and I love these so much, like myself. There's so many times I'll be playing Magna-Tiles with Ezra, and I'm like, I'm almost done. Just like, let me finish my tower, and then I'll look at your tower. Just let me finish mine. I love Magna-Tiles myself. So again, like 2 to like 30. I think they are just such a fun, good gift, and you can get so many sizes. I will say err on the side of like the highest number possible that fits within your budget, because it may sound like a lot, oh, 50, but when you pull it out and you're actually building with it, 50 isn't as much. So if you've got a budget, like, and you know, you can find one that's like 250 of them, I promise they will use those. Our boys absolutely love the Magna-Tiles, and I would say those have been the longest running set of toys in our house. Similar to Legos, like they're gonna be something that's gonna be around forever, but I feel like our boys used the Magna-Tiles when they were like 1, and they use them very differently than they do now at 2 and 3, but they still use them and they still love them, and they build so many more things now versus they used to just use them to like kind of connect and figure it all out. So great for their mind, great for their development, great for mom when she's playing with kids, but just definitely get like a much, much larger size than you think. And then lastly, not so much a toy, but more of a brand. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Gigglescape, but this is a new one. I think maybe within the last couple years, it might have even just been last year at Target. And I feel like I love me a good Melissa and Doug toy. Don't get me wrong. I think Melissa and Doug toys are fantastic, but I feel like Gigglescape is kind of coming for Melissa and Doug a little bit, because I do find that they're a little bit better priced, at least from what I've seen. Now, I know that Melissa and Doug also make much larger sets and they have much more detailed things, but at least what I was looking at last year, I was like, they're kind of coming up quick. So they are kind of the same concept as Melissa and Doug toys. I think Melissa and Doug toys are fantastic. I'll link some of those below as well. Like, we definitely have some favorites that we bought for the boys, like a house cleaning set, like they have grocery stuff, but the Gigglescape is very, very similar. Like, they have a coffee maker that they love. And I am very, like, I do know that I said, you know, like obviously trucks are for boys. Like, I don't think they are. I think that whatever your kid likes, they like. I am still very like, my boys get cleaning stuff. My boys get baking stuff. Like, I want them to not see just like baking stuff as like pink girly things. And I do feel like Gigglescape and Melissa and Doug for that matter do a very good job at like, the pink stuff isn't the baking stuff and the blue stuff isn't like the man stuff. I feel like it's all pretty gender neutral, so it works. And that I just really do appreciate, because like the sweeping and mopping and stuff in this house gets done by my man too. So I'm gonna teach the boys that from a young age. And when I was growing up, I remember like the mops and the toy brooms were pink and purple. And then like there was no brooms or mops that were like clearly meant for boys. So I do appreciate that very much, but that is it for just my kind of initial list. I do want to remind you guys that I send out a newsletter every single Friday. I did not send it out this past week because I have been sick, in case you cannot hear it. The flu kicked me in the hiney. So I didn't send one out this past week, but I send out a newsletter every week. I have the sign up in the description bar and comment section, and I'm sending out tons and tons of new gift ideas every week. But I do also have kind of like a hub on Shop My. It's linked there. I have it linked even in the description bar and comment section with like 45 or 50 gift guides with everyone in mind: kids, toddlers, babies, teenagers, mom, dad, grandparents, you name it. I've got a gift idea there for them. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.